Okay, now locating our profit. So let me just write it down here, draw here. So this is our MC and this is our ATC, right? Okay, and if we want to draw the average variable cost, so this is average variable cost, right? So this is the analysis we learned in cost of production, right? That MC crosses the ATC at its minimum and ABC lies below the ATC, right? Okay, so because we are talking about the competitive market, in the competitive market no one controls the price, so price is fixed, right? So price is, for example, if the price is, this is the price line. So in competitive market, price is equal to AR is equal to MR, right? Okay, so if we want to find out the Qmax, what is the underlying factor? Underlying factor is that Qmax is where MC is equal to MR. So where MC is equal to MR. So this is MC and this is MR. So this curve here. So this point is MC is equal to MR. So that point tells you where to find out the quantity. So quantity lies on the x-axis. So you draw. So this is the maximum quantity, right? And to produce this maximum quantity, right? What is the cost? Cost is on cost curve. Which cost curve? Every total cost. So what is the cost curve here? The cost curve is here. To produce this quantity, what is the cost? Is on every total cost. So if you want to find out the cost in quantitative term, here look at the y-axis. So you draw y-axis, right? So did you see that something? You know the rectangular here, this one, and this one. So this area is called profit, right? How you can find out the profit, right? So we just can see one more time. Let me just remove all this, and because my artistic ability is not very good, so I have here a complete animation to show you guys. Okay, just wait a second. Okay, so we have here MC and ATC crosses the average MC crosses the ATC at its minimum. So here we have a price line here, so where MC is equal to MR, so that is point where MC is equal to MR. So in order to find out the quantity lies on x-axis here. So this is our maximum quantity, when our maximum quantity, and this the cost of this quantity is on the cost curve, which is average total cost. So you may ask that why there is no AVC, because we don't need AVC here, because you know the profit formula is price minus ATC into quantity. We don't have any AVC here, right? So that's why if you draw it, no problem. If you don't want to draw it, it's okay, right? So this shaded green line is called profit, right? But let's move further. Okay, now the loss situation. So can a competitive firm earn a loss? And what is the loss situation? If price, let me just write it down, if price is less than every total cost, right? The formula is, if you multiply by this quantity, this is the profit, sorry, P minus ATC multiplied by the quantity. If price is less, then we have a loss. So what is the loss condition here? So let me just draw on this curve. We have average total cost here. If the price line is below the average total cost, right, then we can say that okay, so price line is also called AR, it's also called MR, right? So in order to produce where we can find the Qmax, it lies on this condition where MC is equal to MR. So you can find out Qmax. The question is why we are calling Qmax, right? We are having a loss, so by producing this quantity we are actually minimizing our loss. That is also profit maximization, right? The other side of the coin. If you maximize the profit, or if there is a loss, you minimize the loss. That is also called maximization. Okay, so in that case, producing this quantity, the price is at the price, right, price line. Here you can find out the price. And what is the cost? Cost can be found out on the cost curve, on this curve. So cost is here. To find out the quantity, let's see at y-axis. So this is average total cost. So that rectangular, see this rectangular, so this area is called loss, right? Let me just remove this, and then we see here in the very nice diagram where the loss is. Okay, just here we go. So this is marginal cost, and marginal cost crosses the average total cost at its minimum. If the price is less than our average total cost, then what we have, how to find out the max quantity? Max quantity is where MC is equal to MR. So that point, so price is on the price curve here. So this is the price, right, and this is the cost. So the shaded area gonna be here, the shaded area gonna be here. This one is called loss. Okay, now just for revision, the supply curve in the competitive market, we already learned that, so let's just discuss it one more time. So the short run supply curve and long run supply curve. So the short run supply curve, the portion of MC that lies above the average variable cost. So through diagram maybe you understand better. So here, so this is average total cost, and this is average variable cost, this is MC. Okay, so that portion of MC in short run that lies above the average total cost, we call that this is marginal cost, which shows the supply curve, or which is the replica of supply curve in short run. Now let's talk about the long run. We just did that. Long run analysis is that, because in long run we don't care about the average variable cost, we talk about the average total cost. So let's talk about that. So this is the average total cost. So this is optional. If you want to do that, it's up to you. Here, so that part of MC that lies above the average total cost, right, we call that portion is the replica of supply cost. So this is long run analysis, right, of the supply curve. So I hope I make it clear. If you still don't understand that, please do write us in our WeChat group or in our Blackboard discussion forum as well, and also we can discuss it in our Zoom live meeting. Okay, now the competitive firm's short run supply curve, through just for graphical purposes here we already solved it. So the short run is above average variable cost, right, and for long run it is that part of MC which lies above average variable cost. So the question is why we don't write this average variable cost here, because we don't need it here. Why? Because we already know that it's above average total cost. If even if you write it down, it's like uh, extra thing. Okay, so don't just confuse with why this graph doesn't contain this average variable cost curve. Okay, let's move further.